Sweden advanced to face Japan in the quarterfinal. The U.S. can now start that 14-hour or so flight home from Melbourne. Looking at Women's World Cup results by defending champions, the U.S. have won this event 4 times. Irrespective of whether they had won it or not, they've never finished outside of the semifinals. Now they're bounced in the round of 16, not just their earliest exit, but the earliest exit ever at this event by a defending champion. We're now joined by soccer analyst Luis Miguel Echegaray. And Luis Miguel, if Sophia Smith hits the target on her kick, or if Alyssa Naeher wears a size 9 glove as a size 8 instead of a size 8, this might be a very different conversation that you and I are having. This is a game of millimeters. They lost today, but removed from today, how do you think their stay in Australia at this tournament will be remembered?
Yeah, Phil, that's a really good question, because today was obviously, like you said, a game of millimeters. If anything, a game of 8 millimeter individually. It was ridiculous. And as you said, in many ways, the USWNT really could have come away with a victory. There were so many great opportunities. If it wasn't for the Swedish goalkeeper, Savina Musovic, she gave the best performance of this tournament, regardless of the position. It was incredible. But I think, to your question, right, because that's where we have to really focus. We have to look at the overall blueprint of what the USWNT under Vlatko Andonovski has given us in Australia and New Zealand. And the answer is, it's not much. It's been inept. Outside of that Vietnam victory, they scored 1 goal. 0 goals outside of that fixture in 300 minutes. Today, even though there was possession and a bit of creativity, Trinity Rodman was fantastic when she was on, Sophia Smith doing her thing, still, they couldn't get that goal. And I have to lay all the blame on Vlatko Andonovski, because now this is a trend we are seeing, Phil, where he's really not doing the right in-game tactics. Why did Alyssa Thompson not see any minutes, specifically in extra time? There's talent on the bench, young talent, and Vlatko didn't do enough. So I think that, yes, a game of a millimeter, but overall, extremely disappointing if you're a U.S. fan.
Yeah, Vlatko Andonovski in his tactic and squad selection had been a source of scrutiny at this event. Luis Miguel, we knew it was going to be Megan Rapinoe's final World Cup, according to her. Alex Morgan, who had been a pillar of this program, she's 34. She'll be 38 at the next World Cup. Who do you point to from this squad as the players of the future around which the U.S. women's national team can build?
The obvious answer is Sophia Smith, right? Every time she touches the ball, there's a spark. And it began at the beginning of this specific game. And it wasn't just this game. It was the overall tournament. And I just think that the right manager, with all due respect to Andonovski, you can get even more of her, because she does begin on the left wing, but maybe she can be somebody that comes behind the striker on the other side. So Sophia Smith, to me, straight away. Trinity Rodman, of course, is the other one. But again, there's talent on the bench that wasn't used. So, you're looking at 18-year-old Alyssa Thompson and other players. But I think that the overall component here in this starting lineup begins and ends with Sophia Smith. She is an absolute star.
The U.S. women's national team scored just 4 goals in 4 matches. Sophia Smith responsible for 2 of them. But again, only 1 match since they faced tournament debutant Vietnam in the opener. Luis Miguel Echegaray, thanks so much for the insight. We appreciate it.
Well, thank you very much for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming, premium content, and let's not forget as well, ESPN FC 7 days a week. Subscribe to ESPN+.